Welcome back to Area Diesel Service. So we've got a little bit different video for you today. This behemoth is a 2005 Tractorking 254. It's a pure Chinesium import compact tractor, 25 horsepower variety. It's actually a pretty neat little machine. Looks fairly capable, fairly cool. Kind of an interesting chain of events. We've actually already kind of been through this process. We didn't think it was going to make anything content worthy, but what we found in the end was very, very interesting. We're going to kind of walk you back through a recreation of the events and talk about what we found. We got a call from a local customer and he said, I've got a tractor and the injectors need rebuilt. I said, okay, sounds great. Brings us the set of injectors. We take them into the repair shop, we disassemble them, and we find significant amounts of shmoo. This tractor is a 2005. It's currently 2024, so she's 19 years of age, and it's only got 300 hours on it. Undoubtedly, it's done some sitting. It's still in really pretty good condition. So we open the injectors, we find the shmoo, we believe we've got smoking gun type evidence, rebuild the injectors, return them to the customer, everyone's happy. 3 weeks go by and we get a call back from the customer. He says, I've installed these injectors and the tractor will still not run. Okay, well, tell us what it's doing. And the description we get from the customer is it's kind of spitting, sputtering, and puffing back out the intake manifold. We don't generally do much drive-in repair in the Illinois location. This one was a little bit compelling. I think several people have looked at this machine to try and make it run, and so far no one had been successful. In the interest of taking good care of the customer and trying to resolve this issue, okay, sure, bring us the whole machine and let us have a look. That's why this thing is here. And that was the chain of events that led up to this point. This beautiful specimen, the Tractorking 254, is fairly typical of this vintage. It's got a imported 3-cylinder indirect injected diesel engine. It's got a little inline injection pump. One would hope or think that this would be a fairly simple diagnostic procedure and an easy troubleshooting and repair situation. We've currently got the intake system off, so this is filtered air coming into the engine, and this is road draft or blow-by tube going back into the engine. First thing we did, and we're going to replicate, is kind of verify the customer complaint. We're going to crank this thing up and show you what we're seeing, show you what the complaint is. This thing's got one system that we don't see a whole lot of. It's got a decompression lever and a rod going into the back of the rocker cover. And then it's got a second rocker shaft. When you actuate that lever, it floats the intake valves. So we'll kind of show you cranking this thing up and you'll hear it change. We'll start cranking with the decompression on. You'll see the compression coming back out. And then we'll release that to go to start mode. And you'll hear the change in the engine. Keep an eye on the business end here. We'll show you what we're seeing. Resident Tractorking expert Tyler is on top of this machine. You can see her smoking a little. That was the decompression release. So now the decompression is on.
Yep.
Okay. So you can hear the tone change whenever he releases the decompression to go into start mode. And that's it. That's all it does. If you keep cranking, eventually the starter will drag down and it'll almost just quit cranking. That was kind of step one, verify customer complaint. Then what'd you do?
Crack the injection lines to make sure each cylinder was getting fuel, and it was squirting out. So then after I verified that, I took number 1 injection line out, took the return off, pulled the injector out, set it outside the engine with the injection line hooked up, just to verify that the pump has good cranking pressure and will pop off the injector. So it was sitting out here popping off while I was cranking on it. Decompression or non, it was popping off.
Verified fuel delivery, right? Cracked all the lines, kind of like a bleeding procedure, and we're seeing fuel go to every one. Okay, well, what's the problem then? So pull the injector out, swing the line around, and let it pop off and inject outside the engine. So now we've proven all the way up to the combustion chamber that we've got fuel. Okay, there's only a few things you need on a diesel engine, right? Some fuel, some compression, some timing, and the ability to breathe, and that's about it. Confirmed and eliminated fuel delivery as the culprit. We did go through and check glow plug operation, confirmed that was working. Next thing we went to was compression. We were getting 400 or so PSI on all the cylinders, plenty to pop this thing off.
And I did take the valve cover off to verify that the valves were actuating, make sure there wasn't a flat lobe on anything.
Yeah, because the decompression is a little bit abnormal maybe. Take the rocker box off, look at the valve train while you're cranking it, confirm that the decompression isn't stuck engaged or jammed up or for whatever reason causing an issue, and everything under there looked fine, right? So now we're starting to really scratch our heads. We had the starter just about molten orange at this point, so we decided to let's back off it, put the charger back on it, maybe we'll sleep on it and see if it doesn't come to us. But if we can't troubleshoot and diagnose this thing, we're probably in trouble. That was kind of the initial walkthrough and what went on. If you think you know what it is, stop the video, drop us a comment down below, and let us know what you believe is wrong with this engine. So then a day passes. We're kind of standing at the water cooler talking about this thing, discussing it, scratching our heads, going back to basics. We're getting humbled by the old Tractor King, right? We discussed the possibility of the muffler potentially having collapsed internally. You know, it can't breathe, right? Can't breathe, can't run. We spitballed a few other ideas, didn't really have any great place to go. So we went ahead and started to inspect the exhaust system. Before we had the starter glowing red, you know, we're always listening and hearing, and one of the things we're doing was pop the rain cap up and just put our hand on the exhaust while we were cranking it. Not really feeling a whole lot, which is starting to kind of solidify our suspicions. That was with the decompression both on and off. Usually when you're cranking something with a rain cap, you'll kind of hear it jingle in and see it flapping around. We decided, yeah, let's rip the exhaust off and have a look. First thing he noted was that 20-year-old machine, and well, these bolts aren't fighting us like typical exhaust bolts. Maybe it's going to be a lucky day. We're not breaking every one of them off and drilling them out. So again, remember at this point, we're kind of frustrated and we're humbled. We're supposed to be the leading experts in diesel engines and diagnostics. And here we are taking the muffler off a 20-year-old tractor.
And it does appear to have a new gasket in it.
Okay, muffler off and out of the way. So now we can perform the inspection, and here's what we find.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah, well,
what the heck is that?
Looks like a homemade gasket out of a piece of sheet metal or something, but it all looks fine except they missed one very critical component of homemade gaskets, and that is to allow the engine to breathe through the center, right? So they forgot to cut the middle out.
my guess is
He probably did that.
he
Oh, would you
didn't
look
do
at this?
it. He
Oh,
did
would you
it
look
with
at
the
that?
door.
Completely restricted the flow coming out of the engine, and this thing would not start. Deleted the emissions control device. We're going to see if she'll light off now. So. There you go. Much easier starting now. Potentially still an injector issue or something going on. You might have seen it cough a little bit there. Maybe it just needs to warm up or something. But I believe we've eliminated 99% of this tractor's issue. Learn something every day. We're going to slap this thing back together, get it back to the customer, we'll hang that exhaust gasket on the wall of shame. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to let us know. You can call us at 800-637-2658. You can log on to our website at areadieselservice.com. You can stop by any of our locations in Iowa, Illinois, or Indiana. Drop us an email at parts@areadiesel.com. That's it. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Oh, baby. A little smoky. It's also got about no fuel in it. Oh, look at this. Little schmoo on the basket. I wish I had a farmer hat. Do you know the difference between a mechanic and a farmer? A mechanic won't pretend to be a farmer. Bye-bye.